What are your memories of your TV title wins over Tim Woods back in '76? I think you also worked with Dino Bravo at the time.
Oh, back to '76. That was one of the first. I guess that was one of the first titles that they gave me, probably before the tag team titles. I remember Tim Woods, Mr. Wrestling 1. That was him. He was like trying to wrestle an alligator. And he's like, some people that you hook up with and wrestle with, all you feel is elbows and potatoes. And he was just really hard to work with. That's what I remember.
How about your feud over the Mid-Atlantic title with Wahoo McDaniel? What was he like?
Wahoo is a gem. He was a great person, a great athlete, a great wrestler. I put that down as one of my all-time favorite feuds, and because Wahoo was so good, he was so solid, so they believed in him so much.
How about Rufus R Jones?
That Rufus, great person. So a real great card in the Carolinas. Used to have some great matches with Rufus, but he was another one that was, he wasn't that easy to work with, but he was over so good with the people that you could have some really good matches. You just kind of had to work around some of his shortcomings, was because he was a little overweight. But God, he was really over.
You also tagged, I guess, with Baron von Raschke against Ricky Steamboat and Paul Jones.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on those matches?
After having Flair as your partner, and then all of a sudden they stick you with Baron von Raschke, I was kind of flabbergasted. At first I didn't like it. Nothing taken away from Baron, because he was a gem of a guy, a real nice fellow guy, real nice guy. And eventually I found myself to be wrong, because we ended up having a hell of a team, a very good team. And we used to wrestle Steamboat, Youngblood, all those guys, Andersons, everything. So at first I thought, no, this ain't going to work, but it did. It was a good team.
Did you like working with Ricky Steamboat back then?
I loved it. Loved it, because he was,
awesome worker.
You could work with Steamboat with both your hands tied behind your back and a blindfold and probably have a good match. He was just one of those guys that when he first came out, his real name was Youngblood. And when he first came out, this guy, how long had he been wrestling? And I think he was a polished wrestler, where it took me 5 or 6 years. It took him about a year. He was just phenomenal.
What are your memories of teaming with Ray Stevens back in 1980?
Yeah, that was after Raschke and myself, and then they kept feeding me other partners. And Ray was a man's man. He was great. He taught me a lot too. I learned a lot off of Ray. I just sucked information off all those older veterans that I worked with, and Ray Stevens was one of them. And had a lot of good matches, and a real sad thing happened to him when he was my partner. We were in one of those tornado matches where they have people lined around, like a lumberjack Texas tornado match, and lumberjack match where all the people around the ring, the wrestlers, and he did a thing where, and I was John Studd was a guy, he went to jump, and John Studd was supposed to catch him. And John just backed away from him, and I don't know what happened, because John's not usually like that. Backed away from him, and he missed him. And Ray ripped his groin muscle, and that virtually ended his career. He could never made a comeback from that.
Wow.
Just a bad tear.